on track. All right, keep going.
Okay, so what would you say is your very biggest strength?
Transparency. I think we talked about that. I think that it can be a weakness, and some people can be, okay, that was a little much. You know, that was a little much. And that's okay. I think as you get older, I'm okay with not being everybody's everybody. And I didn't used to be okay with that. I think I used to always want to be a people pleaser and yes, ma'am, and no, sir, and all the things. And honestly, at the end of the day, nobody ended up liking you, right? Or they're like, who is that person that's like trying to do all that? So
isn't there freedom in that? There
is, you know, and being considerate of people, but at the same time, everybody has a different purpose. And I think for me, it is to be my own story consistently comes to fruition in a way to help. So for me, it's transparency, whether you like it or not. And you can always delete me from Facebook. I mean, that's kind of the thing, too. You know? If you're not a fan, then bye-bye.
How about your biggest weakness? Ooh, do you have one?
No.
Let's see if that transparency really comes through.
Being a perfectionist, you know, there's so many to choose from. I have a short temper.
You do?
I do. I have a very short temper. And it's interesting. It's getting worse and worse.
The older we get.
And we were talking about this before, but I'm really, really great in the environment of business. We were talking when I have my high heels on and I'm in business, it's all about lists. And I'm a driver. I like to have accomplishments. I don't leave the day without every email being checked, every person being called back. I have my to-do. I physically write out my list before I leave. My desk needs to look ready for tomorrow.
Yep.
That is me in a nutshell. But when I get home, and I have 2 children and a husband, and can't have the same approach to your home as you do your business.
Run it like a business.
You can't. And stay married and have kids love you, and it doesn't work. So my biggest thing moving into the next couple years of my life is going to be taking the high heels off, putting the slippers on, dropping the perfectionistic.
Yeah, because it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. And you got to take off the coat and put the sweater on when you get home.
Is that why Mr. Rogers did that?
Yeah.
I think it's super good.
Interesting.
Took off work.
Yeah.
But I like that approach, though, about the heels slippers approach, because I think there's a mental shift that happens.
And you know what's really funny is I feel that exact same way. And when I would get home, I had my clothes on and I had my high heels on, and that person did arrive and stay that person until I took it off.
Exactly.
It was like you put it on in the morning, and when you got home, you had to take it off in order to change that role.
You do.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's interesting when you actually go, well, how did that actually work out for you?
Yeah.
I mean, do you kids like being around you?
Yeah, no.
Half the time they're like super excited to go to their dad's because it's just laid back, and you know, he would argue that it's not, but it is. It's just kind of a free-for-all, and there's a time and a place for all that. And I think that balancing that is going to be always going to be my hard thing.